This is Empowered Explant, the podcast helping women ditch their breast implants with confidence. I'm Darnah Mercieca, a board-certified health and wellness coach and explant warrior. And I'm here with Philipp von Holtzendorff Fehling. He is the founder and CEO of Leela Quantum Tech, and we're at the BiohackingCongress in Austin, Texas. Philipp is speaking here on the topic of how quantum energy can make a difference. I actually just saw him speaking and I had to jump in there because I wanted to learn as much as I could before this interview because there's a lot. But I'm just so super excited to have the opportunity to steal you away for a one-on-one conversation. Philipp has developed a healing technology that is quite literally raising vibes and energy. And from what I've seen, which I'm very excited about, it could be really powerful throughout the explant journey, both before and after. So thank you for being here with me, Philipp.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Of course. So you have a really cool backstory. You went from being a high-level executive in the corporate world to becoming an energy healer, and now developing Leela. So just on a personal level, tell me what led to this transition, because that's a really big transition to make, and what kind of impact has energy healing had on your life personally?
Well, it has had a big impact, and in the early 2000s I realized that I had cut myself off my own emotions and feelings, and I wasn't tuned in with my core at all, and I was completely irrational, very logical, and everything physical is the only thing that I kind of believed in. And I realized I was very unhappy at that moment, at that part in my life, and that was kind of like the pivotal moment where I said, okay, well, I need to dig in. This can't be it. Honestly. So I started to do meditation, yoga, and then I went into a few shamanic workshops.
Wow.
Got trained in past life regression work. I learned various energy healing techniques and things like that, and continued my yoga practice. Even I became a Kundalini yoga teacher, which I never wanted to be any of this or do any of this to work one-on-one with other people, really. I did it for myself. And it so happened that I did work one-on-one with several people.
I feel like that's how it naturally progresses, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it was never my intention. My intention was really to just, focus on unlocking the potential and consciousness within me, basically.
How long did it take to do that?
Oh, it took quite some time. I think nowadays it would go way faster, especially because products like ours are now available. I wish I had those already.
Plug.
Yeah, because they indeed have a measurable impact on the consciousness level. And so it took some time, but I stayed with it. And in 2005, I met my wife, who was born with the ability to see aura and energy fields. So
That's
that
incredible.
Helped me get even deeper into that world a little bit. But I stayed in corporate, and then it wasn't until 2016 where the stretch became too big, and I was like, okay, so I have to be myself fully all the time, and I just can't make compromises anymore, like the one being in corporate where that part of you that is the real you kind of need to leave outside the door, and you need to just play this role, the corporate executive role. And then in 2016, I said, thank you, corporate world, for all you taught me and let me do. And now I'm just going to do what's within my heart, what's my own calling. And then literally, the calling came to me, and we started a supplement company with an amazing molecule called C60. And then we moved on. We still have that actually, but moved more into the quantum technology and the frequency medicine, which is really absolutely cutting edge. There's literally no one out there that does exactly what we do. There's frequency medicine out there, like, working with sound frequencies, for example. MIT is doing a lot of research. There are a few scientists that do some great work. There's Rife machines and stuff like that. So that's all in the realm of frequency medicine, but it's very different from how we do it. And we work with pure quantum energy, which is very new to people, and often people even wonder, okay, so how can that work? Because you don't plug it in the wall, it's not battery operated.
Yeah, exactly.
But it does work, and
Yeah.
we can show it each and every time.
It really is incredible, and I, just from listening to you speak, I mean, I'll be completely honest with you, a lot of the science at this point, because I'm quite new to this, kind of goes over my head, because it's a lot. And to me, I'm like, is this science or is it magic? Because it's like a magic trick. It's incredible. So
I can tell you the answer. It's magic in a way that we perceive it as magic, but then the hardcore science really shows it works in 100% of the cases.
Backed up, yeah, which I love. I think that that's incredible. So you launched Leela, and tell us what the word Leela means, because I love it.
Yeah, well, it means divine play. So Leela is a Sanskrit word, and it means divine play. And actually our son is called Leela. And it was interesting because first in the pregnancy we were told it's going to be a girl. And then we came up with the word Leela, and with the name Leela. And then it turned out to be a boy, but we felt it's still Leela though. It's Leela. So Leela is Leela, and it's it's our son, but it really has this divine play meaning, which plays a role in our products, which our products are really focused on that connection, that conscious connection also in a way, you know. It's nothing religious at all, but you know, it has a deeper meaning, you know?
It does. And I did read on your website that the theme for your intention is for everyone to live joyful lives of health and abundance.
Yes.
And I resonated with that a lot. So the first thing that especially newbies like me need to know, what is quantum energy?
Quantum energy is the energy behind the matter. So I always explain people first, you know, we're 90% water, you know what the body is. And then behind that is space. So we're actually 99% space, even though it doesn't feel like it. So now that space isn't empty. There's quantum energy behind the matter, and in each cell we have a quantum energy field. And that's really the energy that we talk about. It's, you know, and some people may want to call it ether energy also, right? It's in the end just words, but we decided to go with quantum energy, but it has nothing to do really with quantum mechanics, which is a very theoretical concept. We work with the real quantum energy that you can actually promote changes with. And we work with the pure quantum energy. That's important because sometimes you find people out there that work with a little bit of quantum energy, and then they use electric brute force or magnetic brute force with it, and that actually destabilizes the field and has a completely different effect. It actually then can start stressing your body. And we work with literally the same energy that you have in your cells, so it's 100% harmonious. It's natural. Like, it couldn't be more natural, to be honest. And that's important because after all, we're talking about technology, but it's not like some artificial technology. Yeah,
that makes a lot more sense to me now. And okay, so how could quantum energy then, and so first of all, let's kind of talk about your products. So the Leela products are charged with quantum energy, pure quantum energy, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. So, I mean, there's the blocks. We have the blocks, which is the extension of our own technology, which is indeed, those are fields with super highly concentrated pure quantum energy, and there's no specific frequency added. Now we have a lot of frequencies that we developed together with the top-notch healer network for various use cases. And those are actual frequencies. Let's say the inner peace frequency that helps with, you know, any state of anxiety, stress, panic attack, and so on. So it would help you with that. That's a specific frequency. And then what we do is we use our technology, make these cards, for example, or capsules, or water bottle, or other products, where we imprint a specific frequency and kind of like upcharge it with pure quantum energy, so that the metal object, in this case the card or the capsule, they radiate this frequency outwards, so that our body and energetic system can leverage this information, because frequency means information. Information, very important, not inflammation, but information. So that information of these frequencies, then we can take in, we can leverage that. And an easy example would be vitamin C. If you take a vitamin C pill, what ends up in the core of the cell is not the physical substance, it's the information of the vitamin C.
Right.
So now with our technology, you can make quantum frequency medicine, and you can bypass basically that physical process and make the information available right away.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some...
You're like downloading it into your cells.
Yes, exactly. And there's lots of, most of the frequencies and substances that actually works well with. Then there's some substances where it wouldn't help you on a frequency level. Like, let's say if you take like a bentonite zeolite mix, for example, which is like some soil, some volcanic soil. If you ingest that physically binds toxins, for example. So you have some substances that really act physically, where the benefit on a frequency level would still be there because it actually also has these properties that are beneficial aside from just absorbing toxins. But the frequency couldn't absorb the toxins, if that makes sense, right? So there are differences out there. Mm-hmm. But it goes very far. Like you could literally, with our devices, you can take an ibuprofen and you can copy the frequency and put it into a metal object. And it doesn't have a 100% efficacy. So it seems to be between 55 to like 95% efficacy, which is already quite cool.
And is that just with the ibuprofen or with other?
Yeah, so, with supplements, for example, we found out that there's a group of people, maybe 5 to 10% of our community, if they have the Heal Capsule, for example, which contains almost 80 of the most important vitamins, minerals, and organic plant extracts for the human body, amongst other things, then those people can stop taking supplements and they maintain optimal vitamin and mineral levels, but it's a minority. The vast majority of the people still take supplements, but what they notice is that the bioavailability of those substances increases significantly, which is strange, but it seems because the information is there energetically that the cells can absorb the physical substance much, much better in a way that, there's a greater effect. Meaning, if you then take vitamin C, it has an even greater effect.
Yeah, it's
and
enhanced.
You can take less, usually.
Ooh, I love that. That's great. Okay, so thank you for all of that background. That's very helpful. So then, women with breast implant illness, okay? I got mine out over a year ago now, feeling great. But women with breast implant illness, their bodies are having reactions to the breast implants inside them, whether that is a reaction from silicone toxicity or it's a reaction from having a foreign object inside the body, right? Either way, it's definitely an inflammatory response and a toxicity response. So how could quantum energy help in managing the symptoms of illness that these women have? And that could be things like fatigue, brain fog, joint pain, things like that.
So the first thing that comes to mind, which I'd love to talk to you about this after the conversation, if you know any clinics that can do these tests, because what we found is that if you have an implant, in this case we actually tested it with tooth implants, and various substances, whether it's gold in your teeth or something else, there's always something foreign. And when you then do a charging, not too much actually, but if you do some charging with our tech, then it is as if the substance becomes accepted by the human body because it becomes more natural and there's coherence suddenly. So meaning that usually these objects have waveform patterns that are not natural to the human body.
Right.
That's why it's a foreign thing, and then our body tries to get rid of it. So now if you charge that, then it's almost as if it becomes accepted. And so that will be the first thing actually that I would like to test. We haven't done those tests, but that's what I'm assuming at this point, that it would really help in that sense. Get inflammation down and also the reaction of not wanting this specific implant. So that's the first thing that comes to mind.
I'm smiling because I'm going to throw this out here. okay, this is not tested, people. So this is not researched or tested. But so if we took one of your blocks, and if someone put their breast inside it, so to charge their breast implant that's inside their boob,
Yep.
are we saying that could possibly have a beneficial effect?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You know, we can't say that with any certainty at this point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know if
honestly,
this
because
has actually been tried.
but that's what we've been monitoring with other types of implants.
Yeah.
And yeah, so and
Wow.
actually that type of implant may actually be even easier to be charged because with metal implants like titanium plates in the knee or things like that, you have to be even more mindful because you can overcharge metals with our technology. So, but plastic, silicone, and stuff like that doesn't get overcharged at all.
Wow. Okay, and so how long, if somebody charged their boob, how long would that silicone implant stay charged for? How often would they have to do that, for example?
With silicone, I actually can't say that. So it may be just that already after the first charging of 5 to 10 minutes, that's a done deal.
Wow.
You know, that is possible, but then, you know, it could be that you would have to repeat it, not for the silicone, but for the whole area, that the area needs the support. So that's really something that's an interesting topic. I'd love to do, because we want to do more research every day, literally, and so that would be an interesting one to test. So
Well, I know lots of women with implants in their boobs that would be willing to try this. So that's really awesome. And then I listened to a story online on your website, I think, that you told about improvement in blood and joint pain as well. So we can then also see improvements in symptoms through, you know, helping relieve joint pain and things like that.
So yeah, that would be in addition to what I just said, where we're assuming or guessing at this point that this may really have an effect. Beside that, there's stuff that we've proven already. Like if you put your hands in the block, or even if you're near the block, for example, your blood improves. It's at this point it's a fact because it's been proven in 5 randomized sham-controlled double-blind and single-blind studies, and so far it has worked with everyone. So doesn't mean it will also in the future work with everyone, but it may, you know, maybe it's just with 99.9% of the people. At the moment it's 100%. So your white blood cell activity improves, your red blood cells improve, stage 1 and stage 2 of blood clotting can be reversed. Those things have been shown in these studies. So that's a benefit you'll get, you know, regardless whether you have a breast implant or not.
Right.
And obviously if you have a breast implant, then you have more inflammation in the body probably, then it can most likely help you with that specific issue as well, at least to some extent. But it doesn't only work on the blood, it also helps with the heart rate variability, which is the autonomic nervous system. It helps with ATP production of the cells. So what does that mean, right? So if our cells produce energy, and if they can produce more energy, obviously you can have better performance, you can kickstart healing processes. You know, I want to be very mindful with the word healing. But yeah, that's in essence what you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. And okay, so when we're talking about then women who are getting ready to go into surgery, there's a lot of things that come to mind, especially because when I heard you speaking, you were talking about healing belief systems, and like this goes beyond the physical, right? So there's obviously physical effects that we can have, and that's going to be very helpful going into surgery, because after surgery your body needs to go into healing. Once again, that cell energy is going to be so important there. But then this has a profound effect just on the being, on the spirit, on how you're feeling, on your belief system. Can you go into that a little bit?
Yes, I'm happy to. So we don't talk much about that aspect because it's so non-scientific, and it's very hard to prove, but that's in essence, you know, where the technology acts on. It acts on the below subatomic level, which is the consciousness level, the energetic level, really. And it can measurably increase your consciousness level over time. You can calibrate that. Our products rank higher and calibrate higher on the Hawkins scale than any other product that's publicly available by a large degree, frankly. That means they have a very, very high vibration. And so that has an impact to any being, frankly, that whether it's an animal, a pet, or a human, that is close to that, because it uplifts you on that energetic level, on the vibrational level, and you can even amplify intentions. Again, this goes more into the woo, so that's why I usually focus on the hardcore science. Yeah, and that's what you can do, because with a pure concentrated quantum energy field, you can amplify intentions, and you can literally uplift your vibrational state. And so, the physical happens after that. So it's, if you think about it as you have a specific blueprint, your optimal blueprint, I have that, everyone has that, and we can call that in. What happens is the blueprint is translated into this 3D reality through our DNA. The DNA is like a crystalline structure. Think of it as like a window, basically. But what happens if the window is dirty and the sun shines outside? Then the sun can't shine in fully. So what you need to do is clean the windows, and if you have fully clean windows, then the sun can come in fully. And that's pretty much what our technology just does on this energetic level, that your full blueprint and potential can come in. And that's woo-woo, yeah, but if you do that with plants, for example, you see the plants grow faster. You can see effects on pets. And I mean, you literally can't manipulate.
I couldn't imagine my dog at her full potential. she's a lot. That's incredible, though. Yeah, and I wanted to dive into that a little bit, because one thing that I talk about a lot is, this journey that we're on is a journey of connecting to self. Okay, and there's so much anxiety and fear and worry and all of these things, and also so many negative beliefs, which is why we're in this position to begin with, because of self-esteem and all of these things. So working through mindset and energetic shifts on that level is very important throughout this journey. And I love starting that pre-surgery.
Yeah.
I think that that's so important. And then as you move into this new self, right, you're actually getting to know who you are again after surgery. It's a really special journey. So I wanted to touch on that, and also the fact that this can help with those other mindset shifts and the anxiety and that side of things as well.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely, that's where it does have effects. It works on the nervous system, and if you start working on your mindset anyway, and you have a pure quantum field close to you that you can leverage, you can amplify the results, meaning that you can get to a positive mindset quicker. And some things take time, because sometimes our belief systems really are very ingrained, and they're usually in the subconscious. So it's very hard then to consciously focus on getting the subconscious belief systems out. But our technology has been proven actually to help with that. There was this dedicated study that looked at that.
That's so cool. So we're touching on the physical and the non-physical, the more woo-woo, but that's awesome. So then let's talk about surgery recovery, scar healing. I've seen a study that shows that neutralizing harmful EMF can help with wound healing, which makes sense because obviously you're improving the cells, you're improving the blood. All of that plays into wound healing. So can you speak more to how this could be used in, after surgery recovery or during surgery recovery?
Yeah, so, as a side effect, a positive side effect, all of our products can harmonize EMF in a way where the former harmful or detrimental effects on the human body are neutralized completely. That's been shown in various different methods and studies, not just with the blood. And so you can definitely say that effects that you can see from EMF are neutralized, and that helps with wound healing, etc. the ATP production increase certainly helps with that as well. And we've heard many reports in regards to faster recovery after surgery, etc. So at this point, what I'm guessing, it can up to double your recovery time from all we've seen and noticed in our own family and with the community. We have way over 10,000 customers by now, probably 20, 30,000 rather, but we have a very active community of 6,500 people on Telegram, in a private Telegram group. And those are really like the most active users. And a lot of them have had surgeries and reported out the amazing benefits of that you have a faster recovery. And it's quite normal. If you understand the quantum field and what it all does, of course, if the blood improves, if wound healing improves, if ATP production improves, it couldn't be any other way that you're recovering faster, obviously. But still, I wanted to add at least these anecdotal reports that people had. And it's hard for me to make a claim in that regard, right? Because we couldn't possibly claim, you recovered twice as fast as after surgery. Because for me to say that, we would have to have dedicated surgery studies. Yes. Which probably we'll never have, but I think we have enough data points to point you to those, look at those, and then make your own decision.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it makes sense because the studies and research that you have done, like you said, on the blood, on the cell energy, on all of that plays into surgery recovery. So it makes complete sense. Just some thoughts. So during recovery, there are things that you can do, like, for example, you can use crystals with healing properties. I did hear you say that you can supercharge a crystal. Yes. Okay, and this kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You can bring things to its full potential, right? So say, for example, amethyst that already has healing qualities. If you charge the amethyst, that would kind of give it a supercharge, would it?
Yes, it brings it to its full potential. So that's literally what it does. So you have crystals can be in a dormant state where they don't really have a big effect, to be honest. They just look like these crystals, and you may feel it actually. You feel like this is not very powerful, right? And people that can see energy, they can see actually, it's really, there's not much life in this crystal. That's how they would perceive it. And then you have other crystals that shine super brightly and are already really in a great state. So in the optimal state, you can if you put an amethyst in our infinity block for just like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, that's enough already. Wow. It's going to be there at its full potential. You literally wake up the crystals, and crystal healers have, there's, I don't know, probably hundreds of crystal healers that are using our tech to do that. And probably shops by now do that too, that sell crystals, because you don't want to have dormant crystals in your shop.
Exactly. And and a lot of that comes through processing and like all of the things, the life that this poor crystal has had to get to where it is, to get to that shop, to get in your hands. It's a lot. So
but in essence of what the process is of that, it sounds like magic again, but it's because this amethyst is lacking quantum energy. It's been, energy has been sucked out of that crystal basically, and you just give it back to the crystal. That's in essence, and you can do that with our tech, because our tech again is a super powerful source of pure quantum energy. So if I have this source and I put the crystal in, that's just what it does. It's like you walking through the desert for 2 hours and you're super, super thirsty, and that you feel completely drained and you're almost dead at the end. And then someone is there with a bottle of Fiji water and you drink it. And then that moment of feeling, you fill up yourself, your life comes back. And, that moment, that's pretty much on an energetic level what happens. Yeah.
Or you're an introvert who's at a conference all weekend, giving all of your energy, and then you really just want to sleep for 2 days to get it back.
Yeah, exactly. That's also a great analogy.
Energy. Okay, so much good stuff. Now, another thought that has just come to mind. Because I'm thinking about the healing journey. And so, after surgery, we massage different types. I like to use a homemade blend of different butters and essential oils and things on my breasts and scars and everything. And so we massage that in. And so could you put that lotion or whatever lotion somebody is using into this and improve its qualities?
Yes, you can enhance it further. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Put it in for 30, 45 seconds in the infinity block, and then it already has an enhancement in there. If there's anything in there, probably not in your mixture there, but if you have lotions you get somewhere else that have been produced at a large factory, for example, you usually also have some negative frequencies in there that may come from the packaging or from other things, so you can neutralize those. Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. Okay.
There's actually there's not very large, but it's a boutique nature cosmetics firm that is active in Asia, in Europe, and now also in the US lately. They're charging all their cosmetics with our technology.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And the Sun Life Organics Juice Bar, I don't know if anyone has heard about them, but they're pretty active in the US. They have 17 locations, super high-end juice bar. It's actually super, super expensive, but it's all organic, super fresh. They have large infinity blocks in their locations and charge all their smoothies and all that with it. And because you were talking about, can you improve the substances? The water study by the Emoto Institute in Japan actually speaks to that, because you can do that with the blood, but if you charge water, you structure it, you make it better, visibly better, so good that the Emoto Institute is importing our products now to Japan and selling them there, which they've never done before. So on that level where there's anything food, water related, you can improve its structure. Yeah.
That's incredible. Quick side note, I'm actually developing some products. I haven't announced it yet, but I'm developing some products and I have all sorts of ideas. Very exciting. So we'll be talking. So I also am very excited about your inflammatory, and we kind of touched on inflammation already, and you talked about the cards. You have 2 cards that really piqued my interest here. You have an inflammatory support card and a detox support card. So tell me a little bit more about those cards, because inflammation is obviously a really big thing, especially before you get your breast implants out, because your body's just in a state of chronic inflammation. But then after surgery, our bodies are detoxing from all of the years of toxicity from the implants. So how do these help the body in those states and processes?
So our blocks already naturally help with both of these things.
Okay.
And then, but the blocks are more expensive products. And we have these specific frequencies, and one is the detox support that literally adds more detoxing, and it supports the body in that process. And then the inflammatory support booster, that's how we call it, that is actually made with molecular frequencies of very great substances that help with inflammation if you take them physically. So we basically just combined a really great mix or orchestration of those into the frequency and then upcharge it. That's what it does. So it does support you. It's intended to help reduce inflammation faster. So you can just wear this in your pocket, for example. You have to have it close to the body because the cards don't have a large radius.
Okay.
So hold it in your hands, put it in your bra, put it in your pocket. Those are what people do.
Perfect. Okay, so those cards essentially, there's a whole lot of ingredients that help with both inflammation and detox. And the cards are charged with the energy of all of those ingredients, super ingredients.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, so we've talked about so much. My mind, there's just so many ideas. It's so great. So tell me, where can everybody find your products and get more information?
So the website is a good place. That's leelaq.com, leelaq.com. But the best place, to be honest, to just get more information if you're not ready to try out a product and you want to learn more or read more, go to our private Telegram group. I'm happy to share the link with you because it's private. You could not find it in a Telegram search. Or you go on the website and look for the Telegram icon and click on that. That takes you to that group too. Because there you find, over 6,000 people that talk about the products, what their experiences are. They can answer questions. I'm there active too, answering questions. So those are the places to go.
And that's so great that you have that, because having that sense of community and people sharing their experiences and ideas and possibly, new applications for this that someone hasn't thought of that could really be life-changing, that's so incredible. And, in our community, there's a lot of Facebook communities. I have one called Empowered Explant, like the podcast name. And we have so many women in there sharing their experiences, and community goes such a long way. So yeah. I love that you have that. And so I'm going to add links in the episode show notes for that. And then, Philipp, I just want to congratulate you, because I love the Leela brand and what it stands for. And your products are gorgeous. They're so beautiful looking visibly, aesthetically. I love that you used gold. You said that you use gold to represent wisdom, understanding, and enlightenment, with the goal of inspiring knowledge and a deep understanding of ourselves and our souls. And explant surgery, removing the breast implants, it takes us on this journey of deep self-exploration and connection to ourselves in a way that we haven't had in years. We're really learning who we are, really for maybe even the first time in our lives. Because so many of us got these things so young, right? And they become a part of our identity. And this really is a journey that takes us into an identity shift, learning who we are, reconnecting, and also figuring out what it feels like to be healthy. Because so many of us haven't been for so long. So thank you for all the work you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and thank you for the work that you're doing, because you're helping people, obviously, on that journey, and it's such an important moment, right? Where we start to dive into really the bigger meaning of everything, and not being too affected by something just physical.
Yeah.
In the end of the day, because we can really go beyond that, and that's in essence the real fun in life anyway. If you start to dig into that, it's a hard process to get there at first, because it's so full of unknown
you got to face all those little things that you've hidden away for a very long time. All the shadows. So many shadows.
But hey, I always talk about this backpack. We come into this life already with a backpack with stuff, and then in very young ages, we fill it up. Mother yells at us. We're not good enough here. And there are all these emotions and trauma that they all go in this backpack. It gets heavier and heavier until at some point we walk like this. Mm-hmm. And our job is to wake up to that fact and start taking stuff out of the backpack and releasing it. And it may sometimes be ugly to look at what's all in that backpack. It may not look good, but as we release it, we feel so much lighter. And that's actually that's the journey in the end of the day.
Yes, lightening the load, both.
Yeah.
I mean, literally too, right?
In the back and in the front.
Yeah, exactly. I lost like 1.6 pounds off my chest. So yeah, it's a real thing. And okay, so yeah, thank you. Thank you for this conversation. It's been incredible. And I want to also say thank you to the Biohacking Congress for having us. This place is life-changing. I mean, even just in my first hour of being here, I've learned so much. There are over 30 great speakers on biohacking and 30 plus health companies at the exhibition space. This really is the best place to learn from great wellness experts and explore amazing products that actually make a difference. So I recommend checking out biohackingcongress.com and get your ticket to the next Biohacking Congress in Miami, October 20th to 22nd, 2023. And if you can't make it in person, I just wanted to note this, you can actually buy a ticket to get the digital recordings of all of the speakers so that you can still learn a lot. Thank you for listening to Empowered Explant, and you can catch more episodes of this podcast at explantpodcast.com, and you can subscribe anywhere you like to listen to your podcasts. All right, be well. Thank you.
Thank you. That was awesome.